I sometimes wish that some type of horrible accident or something would happen to me, just so I wouldn't have to worry about work or money for a little while. What kind of scary realizations do you come up with about yourself? Sometime I think the same thing, only I want to happen to see how people would actually react, who would actually bother to visit me and such. Also, it happens at times that I think it would be very nice if I was simply run over, and everything would be over. Then I realize what I'm thinking, and the feeling both increases and diminishes. I would like to see who comes to see me also, but I have a strange feeling that the number would make me very sad. I have Crohn's disease, and every once in a while it gets so bad that I have to be hospitalized, usually for about a week. Even though I'm sick enough to be put in the hospital, I generally like staying in there. All the nurses are really nice. I get to lay in bed and watch TV or browse Reddit all day, and I don't have to worry about school or work at all. And nobody can get mad at me because frick you, I'm in the hospital. I sometimes fantasize about oil running out and the world coming to a complete halt and having an excuse to leave my dead-end job in the crap city I live in, move to the countryside, grow my vegetable garden and live in an amazing natural home. Sometimes I want to die temporarily, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe just a day, but I'd be gone and not have anything to worry about. I'd be at peace, even if only for a little while. Of course, there's quite a few issues with this scenario, so sounds like you want a coma. I often wish that doctors will find a tumor in my brain, and that finding it would finally give me a solid and undeniable reason for why I am the way I am. Then I could get it removed and be normal. Maybe you are normal and everyone else has tumors. I always wish that someone near me, in school or somewhere, would pull a gun and start shooting at someone, but I jump in front of whoever they shoot at and take the bullet. It's not a fatal wound but serious enough that I seem heroic. So basically I secretly wish for a dangerous and deadly tragedy to occur in my vicinity so I can seem awesome. Most every city has a center for at-risk youth. Go volunteer there and give the kids all you can. Many will not care, but a few will, and to those kids you will be awesome forever. I don't contemplate suicide really, but sometimes I really wish I would die just because being dead seems so much easier than being alive. But this feeling is usually pretty fleeting. Same thing, except mine is so people will stop relying on me for everything. I am tired of being the responsible one all the time. I've learned that when you are the responsible one, people who are completely hopeless stick to you like white on rice. It's insane, and tiring, and never ending. I wish I was a mutant like an X-Men. I wouldn't really care if everyone hated me and stuff, I just want to shoot optic blasts from eyes. Not a day goes by that I don't think about imagine society breaking down, zombie apocalypse, people just going batshit, whatever. I plan escape routes, supply bag, survival techniques, etc. In reality, I am middle-aged, out of shape and in the middle of a large urban area. Chances are I would die early on, and even if I didn't, I know that it wouldn't be the back to nature, self-reliant situation I want it to be. I'm ashamed that I have so little appreciation for my easy life that I have to imagine the end of the world to find excitement. Whoa, yes, as bad as it seems, I want the crap to hit the fan. My wife and I recently separated because she has decided she is attracted to girls instead of guys. I have been taking it very hard, because I did not want us to split up. To make matters worse, we have a 2-year-old son in the mix who I absolutely adore. Anyway, I have been very broken up over the whole thing, and, if I am going to be completely honest, suicidal. I am a chicken shit though and have not been able to bring myself to actually kill myself. My response to it was to quit wearing my safety equipment at work and to hope something would happen at work that would kill me. About a week ago I finally had a WTF are you doing moment and sorta snapped out of it. Back to wearing my safety equipment and not really feeling suicidal anymore. Depressed as all heck but not suicidal. Stay safe and hang in there. Your child needs a father. It's a cliche but time will help heal your sadness. Not as scary as it is fascinating. For me to be alive at this moment a ton of things had to happen. First off, Every single atom had to fall in just the right place from the beginning of time, starting at the Big Bang. Earth not only had to exist, but also had to fall within the habitable zone of our sun. The Earth had to form just right for life to form. Every single life form had to evolve in just the right way. Just one small change in the past could have made it so I didn't exist. Every single one of my ancestors had to mate with the same person at about the same time, or else something different could have changed. My parents had to meet. My grandparents had to meet. My great-grandparents had to meet, and so on. I'm not very good at explaining what I'm trying to say, but I think it's amazing about how I'm here and how little the chances were of me being here. Daily I wish for some sickness that would keep me in bed for weeks and my work could not give me any crap about it. As I stand here at work, I realize that when wishing sickness upon myself as opposed to making money, I should search even harder for a new job, especially with the holidays coming up. Retail. Nearly daily, as I drive to my soul-crushing job, I think of getting into a major car accident just so I can get a few weeks off. Some days those telephone poles look real inviting. Just a slight turn of the wheel, and boom, no work today. I used to wish that a shooter would come to my school. Then he would try and shoot my best friend at the time, who was a girl, and I would step in front and take the bullet. I remember that I had no intention of living afterwards, but knowing that I saved her was okay with me. Mine was that I was wishing to end up in a horrible accident, but in mine it was a more permanent kind of fix. I just got so tired. I think about this all the time. I'm 25 years old. For some reason I always wonder what other people think about me. Do people think I'm going to be successful? Then I get jealous about everyone else who finds a job doing what they love and making lots of money. I often find myself wishing that I would just die so I don't have to live up to anyone's expectations, especially mine. I hear you. I'm 25 too, and I just want to get on with my life and have some good things happen. Sometimes I just can't see it happening. Hang in there. I don't find any intrinsic value in human life. I am sad when great artists or scientists die, because their genius is gone. I am sad when people I know die, because I enjoyed their company. But if I see some random person getting killed on the news, I will laugh if I think they died in an amusing way. I don't feel bad that I feel this way, because I think on some level most people do. But sometimes I think I should feel bad, and then feel bad that I don't. TLDR. I don't care if people die unless I liked them. Congrats son, you're normal. I think similar things. I also wonder about if one of my friends or relatives died, because of the attention it would get me, and the break from stress from work. I know it's ridiculous, and it's probably just curiosity, but it still is a pretty dark thought to think about people around me dying in an almost desirable way. About a month ago I was reading some article. It was something really abstract and stupid, and I was in the middle of dicking off and working on crap. I read this article, and when I was done I just got up, fashioned a noose out of a computer charger cord, put it around my neck and started sitting down. I was like, "Okay, if I slip or let go I am gonna be hanging." I stopped for a little while, then got up and continued doing what I was doing. It was completely random out of the blue, and the article had nothing to do with anything or suicide or anything personal to me. I'd take a bullet for a stranger, not even because I'm caring or a great person or anything. I'm just okay with not having to live anymore, and at least this way, people would think I was worth celebrating. I realized that I was going down the road into dehumanizing men, sort of a stormtrooper effect, before I started dealing with and healing from my trauma seriously. Sometimes I wish something traumatic would happen to me or someone around me so that I could see how I would react and know how it feels. Would I rise to the occasion and be a hero or cower in fear and doubt myself? This will sound depressing, but just wait. It will eventually happen to you, or more likely, someone you know. You will find out, and probably sooner than later. Today, after 1 week of work as the sole analyst developer on a new project, in a technology that I know nothing, I got myself thinking in suicide as an exit. Work in IT, they say, it will be rewarding, they say. I used to feel this way all the time while I was in college. I was just so overwhelmed with work and school that it was very appealing Turned out I was severely depressed, so if you feel like this often, maybe talk to someone about that. I'd love to get a few years in prison, maybe a white collar joint where I can relax, read a little, write a book, get in shape, etc. I want to have something terrible happen to me, so that I will have a reason to feel terrible. If I had a car accident where my leg was ripped off, I could say, it makes sense to be unhappy in this situation. I lack one of the standard and incredibly useful basic limbs. As it is right now, it's just depression without a cause or reason. I constantly fantasize about a societal collapse. Something that requires me to drop what I'm doing at work, speed home to my wife and son, and pack the car for a long journey to a new life of anarchy. When I'm bored, I begin to imagine the n amount of scenarios that could, but will never happen. Anything from zombies to economic collapse. Sometimes I wish that some guy would come and shoot up my school and kill me. I hate my life, but I heard that if you commit suicide you'd go to heck, if there actually is one, and I'd probably hate that a lot more. Yes, I always picture driving into something or blowing my brains out. Just today during driver's ed I imagined, and considered, driving into the big oncoming dumpster truck. Sort of related. Sometimes when there's no one else on the road I'll close my eyes and see how long I drive until I chicken out. Usually it's like 3-5 seconds. Quite often I only get an hour or two of sleep before going into work well before the sun comes up. The really bad mornings usually involve me thinking I could drive this car off the road right now and I'd be able to sleep in a hospital bed. It's just a 10-mile drive of that, over and over, in my mind. The one time I actually did go off the road, it was a blizzard, not tiredness. I still made it into work only 10 minutes late. I think the same way. I drive an old car that's about to break down, but then I think about all the stuff I wouldn't be able to do if I got injured. Always thought this. Then I got my wish. Missed high school for a month. Not having to do essays or take tests I missed. And I missed a whole year of college. It sucked. And the attention is horrible. But maybe because I'm shy. Didn't Louis C.K. have a bit about something like this? I wish my parents had died when I was in high school so all the girls would be nice and hug me. Then I could go home and masturbate to that thought. Paraphrasing because I can't remember the joke and find a source for it. I used to want to get some form of cancer as a reason to convince my mother to quit smoking, since having asthma wasn't enough. She got lymphoma in 2009, quit that year, been in remission since Jan 2010, love you mom. I was just thinking to myself, I hope my stepmom dies first, because she's likely to do something stupid with my father's money. It'd be such an effort to have a meaningful relationship with her without dad around. I thought I was nicer than this. My sister and I have had this talk multiple times. I really worry about this sometimes. I don't think it's abnormal. We don't have a great relationship with our stepmom and we fear that she will keep things that are valuable to our family and meaningless to her, just to spite us. Seriously thought about running my car off the road or into a ditch because I want a day away from work without feeling bad about taking it. I'm a cancer patient, and I'm in college. I'm doing pretty well with my treatment, and everything is doing just fine right now. Sometimes I really wish I was just as sick as I was when I was diagnosed. You know, laying in a hospital bed for days at a time, doing nothing, but feeling crappy, and flirting with nurses. I wouldn't have to worry about anything but surviving, and I'll tell you, the feeling is liberating. I realize that while I would never actively try to make it happen, I kinda wish I'd lose a leg so I could have a really cool looking prosthetic. I'd want either one of those leaf spring looking ones, a very mechanical looking one, or a semi-real looking one that I could get my friend to airbrush whenever I wanted a different look. I think about the same but also include the amount that I would be willing to accept for any injuries caused by the accident, like if I got 100k for a broken leg. Of course the accident would happen through no fault of my own. Heck, I feel the same way, but I'm hoping I either get shot or stabbed just so I don't have to go to my best friend's wedding and see my ex and her family. I used to feel the same way sometimes. Then a bunch of horrible crap happened all at once and I regret it. Life has fricked up timing. I wish the same thing all the time, but the hope is that I wouldn't survive. I don't want to deal with injuries or disabilities or bankrupting my family or fricking up my education. On a semi-related note, what is it called when you get the sudden urge to step in front of traffic, or swerve off the road, or stick your hand in that deep fryer? Even if you're not suicidal, it's just a strange, passing feeling. I wish bad things would happen to me so I could become a tortured artist or songwriter or something. My life is just too average. I have a lot of pains sometimes, and the doctors always tell me, oh, it's normal or we can't find anything wrong. It's been like this for a few years now. Lately, it's been my back. I went roller skating and, being the clumsy person I am, kept falling on my butt and getting the wind knocked out of me, and when I'd fall, I'd land right on my tailbone. I fell somewhere from 15-20 times. I went to the doctor because I was having bad pain in my lower spine, and he told me that there was nothing wrong. Sometimes I wish there'd just be something seriously wrong with me so that I could get it fixed instead of being told that there's nothing. I get that response a lot. I have stomach problems and the only diagnosis they can come up with is stress. These problems started at one of the least stressful times in my life. I think about people breaking into my house so I can prove to my family that I can protect them. To be like, I shot a man to keep you safe, I took someone's life for you. But then I realize how horrible that I would even want that trauma on my family. I often daydream about being in a plane crash and surviving it with a bunch of the other passengers, then having to live in a strange place such as a jungle or forest because there is no rescue. Very much like the show Lost, but without smoke monsters, polar bears, or hostile inhabitants. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.